On top of a building, Yuri Hanjo appears. In a state of panic, she calls her brother's number, Rika, who informs her of what's going on. That this world is real and not a dream or an illusion. He checked all of the buildings, but the stairs down are all blocked, and the buildings are connected by rope bridges while there are no elevators. Suddenly, Yuri hears a scream from a girl running from a man wearing a mask. Rika tells her that their goal isn't murder, but to drive one to despair. Yuri sees the woman kill herself by jumping off the building. When her brother finishes explaining things to her, they agree to meet up. Suddenly attacked from behind, but Yuri was able to avoid it. However, she dropped her phone, and the man broke it with his sword. Yuri gets up and heads for a suspension bridge near her. On the bridge, she thinks about meeting up with her brother. She reaches an adjacent roof, but the masked man has caught up with him. When she is about to be killed, a police officer shoots the mask in the head until he falls off. Another officer named Mizushita arrives, and Yuri feels relieved. When a police officer goes to check on the scene, his partner pushes him off the roof. Mizushita says it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be alone with a high school girl. Mizushita attempts to sexually assault Yuri, as he has gone mad since coming to this world. However, a masked man with a sniper shoots Mizushita. Yuri quickly took cover to avoid being shot, but Mizushita was still alive and crawled up to her. Yuri realizes that masked men don't really kill you unless you show no desire to kill yourself. Yuri drags Mizushita's body, burns it, and takes his gun. Yuri is resolved to survive until she meets her brother. She runs to another building to get away from the sniper, who surprisingly has a picture of Yuri. Yuri is then spotted by Maid Mask. While contemplating whether to shoot her or not, the Maid Mask jumps over. Maid Mask tries to attack Yuri, but she dodges and starts shooting. Yuri has never used a gun before, so she misses at that range. She pretends to surrender and take her own life, then rushes to the edge of the building and jumps. As the maid checks on her, obviously this building has a balcony, so Yuri shoots her. As her mask is partially shot off, Yuri is shocked to see her human side. Masked maid claim the masks are humans who are ordered by a god command to do tasks. The command then orders Maid Mask to commit suicide. Shaken, Yuri vows to defeat the god command by any means necessary. She takes the masked girl's scythe and spots a backpack with food and some supplies, as well as another gun. As she makes her way to another building, she notices a helicopter and almost falls off the thin bridge. Entering the next building, she sees a dead woman. In her pocket, a note reads that the only way to leave this world is by helicopter. So as she makes her way to the helicopter, Yuri finds a girl threatening a man, but the girl is not wearing a mask. Yuri shoots the gun out of her hand, and she's proud of it. But the girl named Mayuko takes out her knife and kills the man. Mayuko wants to kill her since there is only one room for the helicopter, but with Yuri crying and not wanting to do this. Mayuko, seeing Yuri's change in emotion, decides not to start the fight. But then Yuri spots the masked sniper, aiming at them from behind Mayuko. Yuri pushes Mayuko out of the way, saving her from the sniper's shot. Mayuko is surprised that Yuri saved her and decides to team up with Yuri to make their way to the helicopter. As a distraction, a grenade is lobbed down the stairs as Sniper Mask follows them. As Yuri is going to let her ride the helicopter, she gives Mayuko her school ID. Tell her parents that she is here. She is going to find Rika and take him back with her. Unknown to them, Sniper is still alive and wearing only a cracked mask. Mayuko and Yuri get to know each other as they make their way to the helipad. But when the helicopter takes off, Yuri shoots at it. The helicopter turns around to reveal another masked person inside who starts shooting at them and then leaving. However, Yuri is not discouraged, and she decides to create alliances and hijack the helicopter. Mayuko is touched by Yuri's determination, but then Yuri faints. Elsewhere, we see Sniper taking a shower before heading out. Because of the crack, he has gained some freedom in his thoughts, but not enough to disobey command. This also proves that other masks will now target him as one attacks him, but is finished off with a point-blank shot into his mouth. Yuri dreams about when she saw an extremely tall skyscraper that was only visible to her before being teleported to the new world. Yuri wakes up, and believing that Mayuko abandoned her, She makes her way to another building when she gets spotted by a trio of masks. She is chased by a female masked person, but Yuri sets a trap on the bridge, and the female masked person falls through a cut in the bridge. But the claw mask comes and cuts her fingers, which makes her fall from the bridge. Yuri points her pistol at the claw mask, but for some reason, her gun won't fire. She gets nervous and keeps going across the bridge, but the masked people are getting closer. When Yuri is cornered, here comes Mayuko to the rescue. She fires, but the claw mask uses his buddy as a human shield. Mayuko runs out of bullets, and claw mask goes after her. Luckily, Mayuko dodges his attack and just rips off her shirt. This allows Rika to reload and pump some shots into him. Because he is not dead, they remove his mask to ask him questions. The man explains that the program appears to have hacked your brain, so you cannot return to normal even after removing the mask. Before he can reveal more about this world, he is ordered to kill himself. He bites his own tongue off. Yuri and Mayuko become allies. Even if Mayuko claims she might betray her, Yuri hopes to work hard to not make her do that. While destroying the masks, Yuri wonders about the time, and Mayuko checks her cell phone to find out. Yuri is happy to know Mayuko has a cell phone. When Yuri contacts Rika to let him know what has happened and learns she made allies. Then, out of nowhere, Rika orders her to kill Mayuko. Yuri wholeheartedly disagrees, as her ally is more important than her safety. Rika said it was a test of her perseverance, so the plan of rescue is put on hold, as their goal now is to gather allies and find the helicopter, as one will randomly land somewhere every day. Elsewhere, we now see Rika butchering masks with his sledgehammer. He states that he always acts strong in front of Rika just to show how manly he is, thanks to his girly name. Rika discusses his beliefs that a mask can never become a human again, and that killing every mask is necessary to survive. A flashback shows that Rika and Sniper Mask had a brief altercation. Back in the present, he meets up with his allies, Akihara and Takeda. Rika asks if the other three people are okay, and Takeda explains that although their defenses are weak, they decided to find him, thinking he was in danger. Suddenly, a cannonball zooms past Rika after blasting through Takeda's face, eliminating him. A masked baseball pitcher throws a cannonball. The duo ran, but hit a dead end. This is when Rika realizes that all masks, despite losing their basic logic, still have real-life abilities. The baseball mask arrives, and Rika asks him to throw a cannonball for him to hit with his sledgehammer. However, the cannonball is too fast for Rika to hit, resulting in a strike. This is just a distraction so Okihara can shoot out the lights to block his vision before Rika hammers off his mask. Rika fights him, while the baseball mask says that Rika is nowhere close to a god in this world if he is struggling so much to fight him. Before any more information can be extracted, Akihara shoots baseball mask in the head. Rika is perplexed as to whether there is more to this world than just escaping via helicopter. He believes this world is evil, and he vows to destroy it. Meanwhile, Sniper Mask tries to despair a girl to commit suicide when the God Command reveals to him that the girl is an individual that is fostered to become God, and the realm is a facility to create God. Kyuan Shinzaki is a God candidate, according to the Command, who is fostering her to become God. The angels, or masks, have the task of supplementing a candidate. Sniper Mask accompanies Kyuan despite not knowing the Command's order. Meanwhile, Yuri and Mayuko are given a bag from an emotionless mask, which contains weapons and food. Later, as Yuri sleeps, Mayuko and Rika awkwardly talk about Yuri's well-being and their alliance. Rika puts her trust in Mayuko to look after Yuri. Because Yuri looks up to Mayuko like a big sister, Mayuko feels flustered and weird. On an adjacent roof, Chef Mask schemes to kidnap Mayuko. Yuri and Mayuko travel to another building, while Mayuko thinks about how Yuri accepts her despite having a troubled past. Chef Mask then kidnaps Mayuko, but Yuri catches wind of it. Chef Mask reveals that his mask has a defect, meaning that he gets orders but keeps his deranged will. The chef throws his bag, revealing the heads of the people he killed. Mayuko freezes up as she remembers her childhood trauma. The chef approaches, but Yuri, who has tied her legs to the balcony, fires at him and snaps Mayuko out of her paralysis. Mayuko is grateful and views Yuri as a god. They believe the chef has died, so Yuri throws her gun and orders Mayuko to come upstairs with it. Mayuko checks the window and sees the chef without his mask getting up, trying to attack her. But Mayuko brutally kills him. Later, they see a sign looking for allies to create God and end the game. Mayuko finds it fishy, but Yuri thinks they should check it out. They follow the signs into a room where they are confronted by a group of people. Suddenly, Rider Mask shows up and punches them all, killing the group. When he targets Yuri, Mayuko puts on the defective mask to become an angel. She becomes crazy but attacks Rider Mask instead. During the fight, Rider Mask shatters Mayuko's mask, revealing that her will is preserved. But because she wore the mask, her abilities have been enhanced. Eventually, the girls manage to defeat Rider Mask, and his last words are to put an end to this insane world. As they leave, they are approached by Tanabe, a man who wants to kill God's candidates. He recalls that his allies were killed by an angel of another candidate named Kazuma Eihara. He spared Tanabe so as to help him find more God candidates and bring them to him to be eliminated since he would be the only perfect God. Of course, he chose to live, but he still wants revenge on his family, so he asks the girls to help him defeat Eihara. Meanwhile, Sniper Mask and Kyuan overheard the conversation. When they confront Eihara, he proclaims that nothing can stop him from being the perfect God and orders his angel named Ein to kill them. Mayuko engages her, and her goal is to exhaust her because Mayuko has greater endurance than her. Tanabe becomes impatient to get his revenge and rushes in, but he is stabbed by Ein. When Ein becomes tired, Eihara thinks he has a trump card and calls his other hidden mask, Zwei, the archer. But Yuri anticipated this and shot her down. Yuri recalls that a candidate can control more than one angel from a previous call with Rika. Eihara panics as he thinks he must become the perfect god, or else it will be the same as in the previous world, where he got bullied by his superiors. In the distance, Kyuan is desperate to stop the killing, and with that, she gets some of her memories back. Kyuan tries activating her weapon. This causes a railgun to blow up a nearby building, which leads Eihara to believe Yuri did it. She takes advantage of this situation with her acting skills to make him surrender. Since Tanabe is still alive, Yuri has him atone for his sins to save the old man. As they take a lunch break, a mask tells them about the perfect God. Only one candidate can be it, and with that single perfect God will have all his or her wishes come true, whether it is world peace or complete chaos. Kyuan vows to be the perfect God to end the world. Meanwhile, a girl is about to be raped by a couple of masks. However, a masked monk decapitates them. Rika has been watching this and asking if he is controlled by a god candidate. The masked monk throws him a handphone from his god candidate, Rikuya Yoshida. Rika asks him how he became a god candidate. Then Yoshida revealed that he woke up in an apartment with a white box in the room, which inside the box is a mouthless mask. After putting it in, data was installed into his brain, and subsequently, the mask broke after command was activated. Rika notices the different types of masks based on the expression of the mouth. The mouthless one must be the jackpot that Yuri told him about. Mayuko starts feeling the effects of wearing the mask. Later, the girls check on the old man, and he is recovering fine. They see Ein being able to take out her mask, even for a short while. The duo then goes to investigate a scream in another building. They reach a library, where they find a bat mask. Mayuko charges straight in, but miscalculates and gets whacked right in the head. Yuri starts shooting at him, but he dodges the bullets. Suddenly, another shot rings out, and the bat mask is hit and eliminated. Yuri recognizes the shooting style as belonging to Sniper, so she becomes alert and shoots in all directions as she approaches Mayuko. Mayuko, who is already injured, stands up, and they both leave the area. However, Sniper Mask hoped they could all team up. Afterwards, he recalls an encounter with Rika. Command ordered him to kill him, but Rika dropped his weapons and charged straight at him. Rika's goal was to unmask him, but Sniper dodged and escaped. He saw Rika's tears before he left. This could mean that Rika must be his friend. That is why he needs to follow Yuri to reach Rika and confirm this himself. He also recalls how he became an angel. It was forcibly put on him by a woman in a police uniform. Elsewhere, Mayuko believes that her masked alter ego is taking over. It didn't take long, as she soon collapsed and couldn't move her body. Suddenly, a masked individual tries to attack them, but Yuri easily shoots and eliminates him. Mayuko reveals the truth about the after effects of the mask. She laments that she can't help Yuri reach Rika, even though she really wants to. Instead of letting Command order her to die, she is going to kill herself. Of course, Mayuko won't let that happen, but too late, Command completely takes over her. However, with Mayuko still trying to fight it, the Command can't totally take over her mind, and she collapses. Dealer Mask approaches Yuri and explains Mayuko's state as hibernation, in which she has less than 2 hours to live, but can be saved by a god candidate. Since she is an angel, she knows where items are located in her area. She tells Yuri the location of a mouthless mask. Wear that, and she'll become a god candidate. By doing so, she'll join the Battle Royale bloodbath. Later, Yuri puts Mayuko in bed and makes her way, vowing to save Mayuko. Shortly, Sniper and Kyuan come by and see her condition. Kyuan knows what this is, so she hacks into Mayuko's mind and forces Command to deactivate hibernation and return full control to this human. Meanwhile, Yuri is climbing up a building, and a Skir Mask is right on her. The Skir Mask has caught up to her, stepped on her, and is ready to inject her with something. However, she is able to slip out from under him because she refuses to give up. On the rooftop, she spots a white box containing the mouthless mask. As she puts it on, she enters some alternate dimension, and God Command informs her of an enemy nearby and installs the most basic of the programs. She removes the mask and witnesses the Skir Mask moving in slow motion. The God Command orders her to kill her opponent, and Yuri throws him off the building. Meanwhile, as Rika finds more allies, it is revealed that a policewoman named Kusakabe is monitoring them. Another masked person, known as Swimmer Mask, emerges, holding someone by the neck. He throws the person to the ground, and the desperate individual begs for help. Kusakabe mocks the pleading man and cruelly kills him while laughing wickedly. She then reveals that she has dispatched 5 people to go after the god candidate. Back to Yuri, she puts on the mouthless mask again, which takes her to a place she doesn't recognize. She thinks it's a dream, but the program in the mask tells her it's a world inside her brain. The system begins the installation process, and the program assures her that, except for the Destroy Mask command, her consciousness, mind, and actions won't be affected. The program explains the abilities of a god candidate, and she can control angels based on wavelength compatibility. Yuri is now a full-fledged god candidate after the mask breaks. As she is about to return, she gets a call from Mayuko, who explains that she was saved by Kyuan. Mayuko then demands to know everything from Kyuan, while Yuri plans to keep moving forward to meet Rika. Elsewhere, Rika and his crew finally meet Yoshida, and they believe they can trust him. As Rika's group reaches the spot, what they don't know is that Kusakabe is watching them and her team. She orders Racket Mask to throw a tear gas grenade to smothe the area. Firstly, she targets to take out Masked Monk by Halberdier Mask. Luckily, Rika is able to do some fighting back. Thankfully, Yoshida has a few more masked Goonies to help out. Kusakabe orders her team to keep attacking when Rika collapses from her injuries. While Yoshida's angels and Rika's team fight them off, the girl who almost got raped is Megumi Sato, trying to wake up Rika. Suddenly, Swimmer Mask appeared and approached Rika. The Monk Mask tries to intervene, but is overpowered by the Swimmer Mask, who proceeds to kill him. The crew witnesses this horrifying act, and Swimmer Mask kidnaps Rika. Kusakabe recalls that she is supposed to kidnap any competent human and take them to that person. Later, Yuri receives a call informing her of Rika's kidnapping. This enraged Yuri, who vowed to save Rika. Meanwhile, Mayuko and Sniper Mask heard a scream, and Mayuko could tell it was her and rushed off to find Yuri while shouting his name. However, she is being targeted by the masked grenade launcher. Thankfully, Sniper snipes away his grenade. Sniper Mask then looks for the attacker and shoots, but the bullet doesn't hit the masked grenade as Dagger Mask blocks it. It seems both of these masks are under orders to find out the god candidate who can use the railgun system. The grenade launcher mask is about to shoot Mayuko, but suddenly, someone shoots him, which makes him fall to the ground. Then Yuri jumps down with a gun in hand. Yuri thanked Mayuko for calling her name, as it helped her find them. The masked grenade gets up from his injuries and launches grenades several times at them. But Yuri uses his god candidate power to slow the grenade launcher, and she shoots them all with her gun. Mayuko is surprised to witness this, and Kyuan believes Rika has become a god candidate. Sniper Mask then snipes him out as Mask Dagger hides and tries to call for help. But Sniper Mask pulls off an amazing move to snipe him out. Afterwards, happy Yuri hugs Mayuko as Yuri tells her experience of putting on a mouthless mask. Kyuan introduces herself to Yuri and confirms that they are god candidates. Kyuan then explains about Sniper being on their side, but currently he will be keeping his distance from the girls from now on just to play safe. Because Kyuan and Yuri are getting too friendly with each other, Mayuko gets jealous and reminds them to continue their journey. Elsewhere, Rika is finally taken to see that person, whose name is Mamoru Aikawa, a god candidate. Aikawa talks about his plan for the new world, and he wants Rika to be his ally. So he hopes a smart guy like Rika can help cooperate with his plans. Rika knows this guy is trash and has openings everywhere that could easily kill him. But he has to be cautious, as he has very strong masks under his command. Especially when he reveals he can control 30 of them at once. So Rika wants to think about it. And it's a smart choice because if he declined, Aikawa would have killed him slowly. They head to a rooftop, where Aikawa further explains that in order to be the perfect god, a candidate must go to the railgun tower. As such, he believes that his loyal team can supplement him to be god. As Kyuan wonders about the connection between Sniper Mask and Rika, a helicopter flies over the city. It stops at the helipad where Aikawa is, and then the helicopter door opens. A Mask seems to be hesitant, so he signals to the pilot to fly away. Aikawa confirms that the angry masked angels, or guardian angels, are trying to prevent god candidates from becoming god. Aikawa orders a squad to guard a helipad and kill any trespassers. He then orders Kusakebe and his superior angels to eliminate Yuri and any other candidates. As Sniper tries to find more clues, more memories of Rika pop up. But then he is attacked by another of Aikawa's angels, the White Feather, as she is called. Sniper Mask is at a disadvantage since he is crossing a bridge, and White Feather shoots the ropes, causing them to collapse. Sniper Mask is hanging for dear life when he remembers more Rika memories. Something about a bet between them to live a cooler life. He signals to White Feather for a headshot, believing his fate has been decided. Yuri side spots White Feather from a distance, and seeing Sniper Mask in trouble, Kyuan decides to fire her railgun. But only then does Ein show up at White Feather's roof and cut his rifle. However, White Feather is still formidable in close-quarter combat. Sniper Mask has regained his footing and fired a warning shot, causing White Feather to retreat for now. Kazuma runs to Ein, expressing relief that she's okay. Assuming that Yuri is close, Ayahara plans to meet her. White Feather reports to Aikawa, who surmises that the railgun user is possibly on the east end, where Yuri is, and this also makes him consider the railgun user, who may be aware of his existence. Aikawa takes it as a provocation and vows not to let them be perfect god. Mayuko pulls Kyuan over for a toilet break. Mayuko wonders if Kyuan is the railgun user, which makes her admit that she could control the railgun system. This has Mayuko realizing that Kyuan will be targeted since the enemies will want to capture her to learn and use it to become a perfect god. The conversation was interrupted when a masked sumo attacked Yuri. However, he is in pain and wants to be killed. Yuri and Mayuko decide to grant his wish and eventually defeat the masked sumo. Afterwards, Sniper Mask shows up, returns their bags, and gives them the enemy's handphone. Maybe they can figure out something from this. As he and Kyuan leave, Ayahara and his allies meet with Yuri. This time he has a young kid whom he treated, Yuzuki, as part of his team. Due to Yuri's cringe villain acting, Yuzuki thinks she is a bully. Sniper Mask thinks Kyuan can use her railgun to blast the enemy if they know their location. But Kyuan tells Sniper Mask that their enemy has a hostage, Rika. Meanwhile, Kusakebe starts interrogating Rika. Rika tells Kusakebe everything he knows. Although Kusakebe cannot read minds, she can read his brainwaves and determine whether he is lying. Rika is aware of this and is working hard to keep her from learning about Yoshida while also hiding Yuri's existence. She receives a call about White Feather's failure. This shocks Rika, but also relieves him since Sniper Mask is still alive. Kusakebe is suspicious about Rika's relationship with Sniper Mask, so she attempts to upset him by disclosing that she was the one who put the mask on him. To her shock, Rika hurts himself and then starts laughing. He then mocks her about her statement about putting a mask on him and saying he'll be as strong as her master. He then passes out from his injuries. Meanwhile, Sniper Mask and Kuon talk about Rika when the hibernation program is activated. Sniper Mask realizes the hibernation program is going to affect him soon. He tells Kuon to save him once the time comes. Aohara lets Yuri know that someone is trying to kill other god candidates. Yuri leaves the lookout duty to Aohara while going to meet Kuon. Kuon then informs Yuri and Mayuko about Sniper Mask's state and wants Yuri to talk to him. Yuri meets with Sniper Mask and returns the picture to her. This proves that he is Rika's friend. He removes his mask so that Yuri can see his face and see if she recognizes him. While we won't see his face, Yuri's flustering means he is a really handsome guy. Too bad she doesn't recognize him, although that scar beneath his left eye looks familiar. After Sniper Mask and Yuri have a conversation, he enters hibernation. From another building, Student Mask, one of Ikawa's angels, watches Yuri. Kuon, Mayuko, and Mayuko's angel alter ego dive into Sniper Mask's brain and subsequently his dream. There, they meet a young Sniper Mask talking to a young Rika, who calls him Yuka Makoto. Kuon deactivates the programs as usual, but some, such as Suicide Command, remain active. Therefore, he should keep the mask on. Once Kuon ends his hibernation, the girls leave his dream. Tanabe has fixed Yuri's gun, and Yuzuki, who is a gun fanatic from his video games, teaches her how to use it effectively. Because it's a cue for Yuri to show her godlike abilities as she hears the cries of a woman nearby. She rushes in, but too late. She gets decapitated by a band of masks. Yuri rushes to them, taking down masked attackers in an intense battle. She strengthened her will to see Rika again, and she easily killed all of them with his god power. As Yuri mourns the dead woman, the masked student, who is under Ikawa, is tasked with spying on her. However, thoughts of defeating her and being praised by his master drive him to attack Yuri. Without a weapon, Yuri is left dodging. The student mask is thrilled about his newfound talking ability and keeps pursuing Yuri. Out of nowhere, someone throws a knife at student mask, and it's Mayuko who ends up pinning him. They interrogate him as he explains Ikawa's great ideal of being evil and why this world exists. Yuri doesn't understand what he is saying, but she doesn't like Ikawa or his ideals and decides that she will kill him as a step to end the world. Meanwhile, Ikawa announces that his team of Kusakebe, Swimmer Mask, and the Archangel are going to assassinate Yuri's people. Kusakebe recalls the time when she and Ikawa met Archangel. Archangel believes that everything is evil and that killing people is justice. It was that belief that made Ikawa compatible with controlling him. One of Yoshida's angels reports on Kusakebe and Rika's whereabouts. Elsewhere, Yuri receives Yoshida's report and the news that Kusakebe's squad is closing in. Aohara reports to Yuri about the masked student and announces that he has the power to stop an angel from moving for a second. He tests it out on the Sniper Mask to not move, but nothing happens. Yuri and her people then get ready for the final battle. The battle is here as Sniper Mask tries to snipe at Kusakebe. Although he remembers her as the one putting the mask on him and wants to interrogate her, but she better die now. However, his shot is off when Yuzuki screams Kusakebe has his mother. Kusakebe throws a smoke screen into the area as Masked Swimmer and Skinny Mask. Skinny Mask panics, seeing he needs to face off with Yuri, Mayuko, and Ain, so Ikawa calls to activate Archangel's full power. On the phone, Ikawa then says that if he wants to defeat him, he must defeat his allies and head to the building behind them. Archangel jumps over them and rushes into the building. Ain goes after him. Yuri wants Mayuko to help Ain. Yuri fights the Masked Swimmer and relishes revenge because he's the man who kidnapped Rika. Sniper Mask tries to shoot at Archangel, but he stops the bullet with his fingers. He enters the building and eats food at the table. Aang sneaks up on Archangel but cannot take him down. Just then, Aihara uses his power to freeze him for a second, which allows Aang and Mayuko to injure Archangel. Archangel uses Sniper Mask Bullet and shoots it, hitting Aihara in the neck. Aang quickly tries to stop the bleeding. As Aang takes care of Aihara, Mayuko calls upon her angel alter ego to complete defragmentation that would enhance her processing abilities. The catch is that it will take time to activate, and the cost will be her masked self being erased. Thank goodness Tanabe shows up, buying time with his dramatic act. However, he went down so fast with just a touch. With Mayuko's defragmentation complete, her combat skills match Archangel. She launches attacks from all angles, and Archangel blocks them all, but she doesn't give up. She fights for Yuri and doesn't mind losing her humanity if Yuri is by her side. Meanwhile, Yuri ends up killing Swimmer Mask, and now she is free to go help Mayuko. On the other hand, Mayuko is still no match. Noting that he is tiring out, Mayuko now initiates the next plan. She jumps out of the building and screams the password. Sniper's sharp hearing enables him to pinpoint her location. This allows Kyuon to activate the railgun at a much faster rate and fire at that location. Kusakebe wants to report this to Eikawa, but Sniper Mask shot her phone and sent her running. Mayuko thought they'd won, but Archangel comes out of the rubble. He explained that he managed to dodge, but the shockwave damaged his organs. He is about to kill her, but Yuri intervenes and delivers a blow to the Archangel. Before Yuri can kill Archangel, the God Command announces that their wavelengths match, therefore she can control him. Unsure what to do, Tanabe shows up and convinces Yuri to control him. With Great Angel admitting his defeat, Yuri dominates Great Angel under her command. She seals his power, and he returns to his scrawny version. Despite Yuri's team winning the battle, the biggest price they paid was Aohara's death. His last words to Aang were to follow Yuri. Elsewhere, Eikawa learns of Yuri's existence and informs Rika of using him as leverage to make Yuri surrender. When Rika rejects Eikawa's proposal, Eikawa activates the Angel Command on him, leaving his fate unknown. Meanwhile, Yuri and his team prepare their next plan to rescue Rika. Thank you for watching till the end, and please don't forget to subscribe. See you next time, and peace out.